Now this is our Wednesday, November 11th Globe and Mail. It's so colorful. Why? You can see the bold print. Why? Go this way, Moira. Why is November 11th blooming? Well, a couple of reasons are highlighted here. A moment of silence has become 2 minutes, and a commemorative day becomes a week. Now, we checked out the poppy etiquette, and we're not, you know, traditionally you're supposed to wear the poppy only to the day, and some would say to the end of the ceremony. I don't know if this changes our poppy wearing, girls, but we now have a Remembrance Week.
Right, and as you were talking about the 2 minutes, originally it was actually 2 minutes, and then because of a loss of interest, basically from the public, they brought it back down to 1 minute, but then I believe it was in 1999, Veterans Affairs extended it back again to 2 minutes. Because even, I remember when I actually was sitting in the parking lot when the 2 minutes of silence happened. So I'm sitting in my car and I'm listening to it on the CBC. And I remember thinking to myself, when I was in elementary school, I remember it being 2 minutes. And then all of a sudden it became 1 minute, right, or something like that. But now it's back. And like you said, there's been a growing Remembrance Day is sort of back, if I could say that. So there's been an interest, and obviously because we have troops right now in Afghanistan, so there's a growing interest in Canada about you know, our history in both World Wars and the Korean War as well. So yeah.
You know, I was wondering about that. Why is it so, you know, back? And I think it's really because of our 24-hour news stations. I think seeing the war, you know, up front and personal, and having these personal relationships really with these with people that are dying, these soldiers that are dying, I think our younger generations are seeing war for, you know, right up and close and personal, and I think maybe that's what's drawing people to be more interested.
Case in point, Melinda, sorry, Melinda. Case in point, look at the expression on this little, I'm not sure if he's a Cub or a Scout, but they're all there, and I think, very sincere.
And I think there's the balance. I think it's really important that Remembrance Day is remembering. Remembering the people that have given their lives to protect other countries and for freedom. But we have to be careful we don't glorify the fact of war. I mean, one of the cautions, as this in the article was writing, that this professor was saying, you know, young people are interested in it because war is violent, and I can see that in video games, sort of the glorification of war. And we need to just remember, this is remembering lives, you know, laid down, but not to glorify, you know, war. You know.
One of the other things I have to mention too is that all of the I was educating myself, you know, and I'm ashamed to say you know, my knowledge of both wars is not as much as I'd like it to be. And I was researching, and even, you know, our Aboriginals. I mean, we just finished the Full Circle Conference this past weekend, and there was a big group of Aboriginal women, and there were, you know, a whole group of Aboriginal soldiers who signed up to go to war. They were not a part of conscription, and at the time they were fighting their own war right here in Canada, just to be recognized as Canadians. And so there's the educational aspect of it, as well as, you know, now that Remembrance Day is quote unquote back, I mean, there's just so much opportunity for us to learn so much about Canada and our history, and just what people, men and women, did.
And that it's not just history, you know, like this is a present day
It's going
reality
on right now.
I mean, when I was going to school, we weren't in a war. We weren't fighting in Iraq or Afghanistan. So it was always talking about World War I and World War II. And so now that when you're seeing people our age coming back without limbs, dying, I mean, 18-year-olds, 19-year-olds dying.
And the effects of war afterwards.
Exactly.
Like we're seeing in our
then
own country,
you feel more connected
to
the issue at hand.
Let's just go back to that beautiful, sunny service on Parliament Hill. Most of us enjoyed it via television, but this was a beautiful day, and I was delighted to see as many veterans as were there.
Maura, you know what? There's actually only one World War I veteran alive, and apparently about Canadian, yes, I'm sorry. And each year about 20,000 World War II vets die. 20,000. That's unbelievable.
So soon we will no longer have any World War II veterans here in Canada.
And that's why it's important to get the stories now. I mean, all week long on our show we've been highlighting, you know, soldiers, and it's just so important to get the stories now.
And to know our history.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say, Maggie, that is important that we don't forget our history. You know, as much as we live in the present, and there's you know, issues, that it's important to honor, you know, our history and not make the same mistakes. Work towards peace. You know, because war isn't isn't the answer, but work towards peace and ensuring even in ourselves we're taking responsibility to be a peacemaker within our own world. I think that's for every one of us.
Definitely.
So it's good to remember, and I'm glad that it's gone and extended to a week and not just a 2-minute moment in a day.
Yep.
And if anybody knows about the poppy situation, please let us know. Some people are expressing their support of our Canadian troops by wearing red on Fridays. That's what my prompting was today. Now, I can't make that commitment ongoing, but we can all send encouragement to our troops. Where did I put that wonderful? Here's the man who was with us this week. Wonderful article here on Captain Charles Diogratius, chaplain with the Department of National Defense. And he was here with actually the National Director of the Canadian Bible Society. Last year, 24,000 Bibles were provided for our servicemen and women. And how cool are they? They match their uniforms. Their camouflage look is so appealing. And the appeal was, we need more of these. Your donation to the Bible Society, www.biblesociety.ca, keeps the Canadian Bible Society moving these Bibles in the direction that they need to go. And guess what? You don't even need to make a donation to get a blessing card. Look at these. They match perfectly. Good News
Those
Bible,
really
here you go.
nice.
And on the back, you put your little message.
Oh, that's
Isn't
a
that
good
nice?
idea,
And
yeah.
sign your name. And it invites you to put your favorite scripture verse. And the verse at the bottom is Psalm 119, 114. You are my place of safety and my shield. Your word is my only hope.
So you put that card in the
This,
Bible?
In the Bible?
This goes in
Oh,
the
I
Bible.
love that
It's a
idea.
perfect fit. And along with it, look at this. Where to look in the Bible for the scriptures for fear, for peace.
Oh,
And those just
For
those
worry.
get sent out to
And
our
you know
troops.
how important it is for troops to hear of that support
And
from us and
encouragement, yeah.
encouragement. That's a great idea.
That is a great idea.